Yeah, this is where the samurai quest was, where I guess some refugees were. So she's gonna, oh man, she's gonna see all the refugees and how shit this place is. Oh no, she's gonna have her heart broken.
Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanaland's predators both. The city walls might offer better safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nod himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me.
Done your best, Her Grace. Your hands have been her hands have been tied.
Yes, my authority is limited, and that's an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I will follow the road to the unholy hair.
These are all the places that we did in the samurai quest. Okay. Yeah, what's she gonna do if Roban's gone? She's gonna have another guy who could just carry her. It's kind of iconic whenever she does this, whenever Roban does that, and then she sits on his shoulder like a parrot. So I guess we're gonna be missing that dynamic.
It was here, in this holy, unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanaland when an untimely rock slide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he'd assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents were death were ostracated by the monetarists, we could have only brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus I did plan to strip the merchants of their power and place in the nation in the hands of the citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls have paid the price for my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience. I will not be a pawn in the monetarist damnable games. Forgive me for my outburst, but you're one of the few people with whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let's return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum.
Damn, okay. Damn. Parents dead, and potential assassination. And just those are the people you gotta deal with every single day. Well, at least one's dead, because Roban just, like... That guy. I do this every fucking time. You do that too? Yeah, yeah. Just the habit of like, oh yeah, I can just teleport. I'm so dense sometimes. For the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter of my life. For it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Roban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against a dozen or so rival gladiators. I blinkered though I was. I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and I demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Roban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Roban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And then he kneeled before me to receive the winner's purse. He swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theatre. But as you know, Roban is a man of his word. Yeah, what was that word? Yeah. Word.
Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade. Oh! Flashback. Exposition headache. Oh, we're gonna see... Okay, we're seeing the, Robon just being a bamf. Oh, just put down your weapons. Put down your weapons. Come with that dumb bowl cut looking thing. Get out of here. What are you doing? A little off the top. Oh, you hit directly on the shield. That's like a level 5 axe, man. You can't... You only use one sword, too. You don't fuck with this man. You don't fuck with this man. It's so crazy how much more development Robon gets compared to any other leader.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great!
Oh no, wait.
Please, Your Grace!
What are you doing?
I beg of you!
What are you doing, Nanamo?
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Shelf. Robon!
Your Grace,
What?
I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last.
Like
long
that,
live
yeah.
the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Iconic. Iconic. You can't split up the duo. You can't take the tag team out. Oh, it's cute. Words cannot express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Sean's love for me is as grandiose as his grandchild. Oh, it is for me as that of a grandsire for his grandchild. Okay. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Robon wielded with authority of his syndicate position was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge that could cut the strings that bound me. Aw, man. Lanimo seems lost in thought about the past. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I wish to visit. To the Arzaneth Orrery. That's so cute. Yeah, it was really cute. Okay, where are we going for this one? Thaumaturge. When the calamity threatened, Robon led the Alliance forces into battle in the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis Soir would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thal, and reflect upon my choices and ask myself am I fulfilling my duties as a Sultana. You are so rightfully celebrated as a champion because you've led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of the monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I'm to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Losha. With Alamigo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already I've dispatched Alamegans to seek and begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I made a small contribution, an artisan school in Rauga's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Ulder Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Might you ask a member of the Syndicate for advice? Why not seek advice of one who employs refugees? I don't think either one of these answers is going to be that good. Syndicate. Nah, don't trust Syndicate. How about someone who employs refugees? But they might be just as bad. A wise suggestion. Perhaps a visit to the Golden Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate. He's one of the few people who pays refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Gilbert Mandeville? Yeah, I am, actually. Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Golden Saucer. Gilbert should be only too glad to receive us. Okay. I was gonna go to the saucer anyway, so this actually works out perfectly for me. Yeah, so far been live for almost an hour and no dropped frames, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Let's go over there. We're not going over there yet. I got more important stuff to do, like Cackpot. Okay, well this is a dud. Lame. Okay, one more. Well, that's about what I would expect. Okay, now the important one. The important one. I bought a ticket for the Saturday, so I gotta actually see if I won something. Doubtful. Okay, consolation. Consolation. Yeah. Oh, that business is done with. Where are you at, Salty? Lady wants adventure? I know she wants adventure. I just thought we would go to the place we were gonna say we were gonna go to. I've ridden aboard public airship before, but this is my first time to visit the Golden Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Okay, are we good now? Are we good now? Nanamo's okay? Nanamo's okay? Okay, we're going to the Golden Saucer. Let's go. Was it everything you hoped it would be, Nanamo? I've heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. I just want her. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Gilbert will be expecting us. Come, let's head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. I wonder if Will got this far yet. I don't think he got this far in the MSQ. Okay, you're over there. An exact area I was before. Okay, well... I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Mandeville. Shall we sit here and await his arrival? Sure, let's go. Let's sit. Haha, pish posh. There we go. Oh, what did I gave this guy a voice. Because I did a Christmas event, and he was in the Christmas event. And that's the first time I met him, and I gave him a voice. I think I gave him Macho Man Randy Savage voices. I don't know why I did. Zaddy Goobert. Yeah, Zaddy Godbert. I think I gave him a Macho Man voice. I think I did. Okay. I think, yeah, you think you did? Okay. My apologies! Your Grace, I have kept you waiting! No apologies necessary, good, but my request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available on such short notice. When the intrepid Lucius Showtail and the Sultana herself come calling, There is no more important engagement.
It's gonna be weird back and forth of voices. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid refugees residing in Thanalan. I'm sure you are aware, I'm sure, that many Alamegan disposed sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are so aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice would you have for me on how might it best be distributed?
The unusual circumstance of our meeting, your Grace's choice your Grace's and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest me to desire an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one.
Oh. Huh. Okay, he's actually giving, like, wow.
My advice to you, stop. Taxing Ulda's wealth to save Alamega refugees is a terrible, terrible idea.
You oppose my proposition?
Most empathetically, I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment and stuff. But what profit is there for Ulda in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you've done for Garabanya's displacement, I thought you would be the last person to seek the benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. As if I endeavor to support one's fellow man, yeah, I dig it, but I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. Yes, if unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Ulda's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant denizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity.
I need some more water.
Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill.
Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ulda.
Exactly so. Such an arrangement would create a far more equitable relationship with returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects.
He's actually very smart. He's actually very smart. You've given me much to ponder, Lord Mandeville. Thank you for your candor. A wise leader in gambling. Obviously. Very wise man. A Sultana's resolve. Lana seems to be reassessing her plans. Prophet. The thought never crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Though, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, then it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Alden Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, then I'm content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane. Or Kugane.
Or, no, Skugane. I got this wrong a million times before.
And speak with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel with as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Uldar. A fair journey to you, Losha, and a swift one, if you please.
Okay. Sure, Sultana, I'll just burn through my fucking coin. 1,000 gil for teleport. There goes the quest money.